Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today's video is going to actually be a series that I'm going to compile that's going to be all of the cards in BT8. Yeah, we're doing a card by card review. We're going to look at every single card in the set. Now this time around, I'm going to break it up into colors, and so I'll release a video going over each color, and then I'll do a video also covering both starter decks that come out at the same time as the main set does. So I'm just going to use the same intro for all of them. So just find the video that interests you most, the color, and then watch that one. I'll create a playlist, so if you want to watch them all, you can also watch them all. Don't forget, our memory marker this month that came out is Shakkoumon. So if you're playing a Rapidmon deck in BT7, or you're going to build a Rapidmon deck in BT8, this is a great memory marker for that deck, I think. Super cute, handmade out of clay by my wife, hand-painted face as well. You can find this on our Etsy store, link in the description below. Also on that store, you can find all of our previous memory markers we've had on the channel, as well as some of our Battle Ready Inc. merch. All right, on to yellow now. So first up, we got a new baby in the form of Offanimon here. Your turn, while you have 3 or more security cards, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP. I'm not an overly big fan of this. I mean, yellow DP, I guess yellow DP like plus 1,000 is really, really rare. So I guess if you need the DP buff, it's not that bad. But really, I really like just the babies that give some sort of benefit, like draws or searches, stuff like that, that have a really unique effect, whereas this is just 1,000 gain. I'm not overly thrilled about it. We are going to go back over a couple yellow cards from the other colors. First, we got Offanimon here. This is the new DNA Digivolve level 5 that we're getting for red and yellow. And for those of you not familiar with Joggers or DNA Digivolving, definitely go look that up. There's a whole bunch of rules that go with them. They're not overly complicated or anything like that, but they are something that you should be aware of, and there is a lot of rules that go with them. But when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 DP for the turn. Then, if this Digimon DNA Digivolve, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. So you can either kill 2 things with 5k or lower DP, or you can potentially kill something that's 10k or less. So you minus the 5 on it, then delete. So pretty unique little ability here. I really dig it. Just that double whammy Evo, like delete something with a level 5 is really good. Chimeramon is a very popular Digimon in this set, and this kind of gives me some Chimeramon vibes a little bit, just for that control aspect of it. And then the inheritable, when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. Shakkoumon was really good in Betsumon. I think this could definitely be benefited for us for sure. Since we're covering yellow, we'll actually get to see some neat combos, or I guess not in this one, but one of the neat ones is Offanimon, using that as your mega to go with this. You do a whole lot of DP minusing, that sort of thing. Combine it with like a Rapidmon, which we will talk about here in a little bit. That's more DP reduction. So you can do some really cool things with yellow this set. It's definitely interesting. We also get Submarimon here. This is one of our armors that we're getting for blue-yellow. So Digivolve from Armadillo for 2 cost. For those that are not aware, when Digivolving armors and it has this little box here, this is not treated as an effect. This is an alternate Evo cost, okay? So it technically should be like right up here, but it just fits better down here, I guess. But the reason it's in this box is because it's supposed to be separate from the effect, because normally you wouldn't be able to do this in raising area, but since it is an alternative Evo cost, you can still Evo on top of Armadillomon in raising area for 2 Evo costs. So keep that in mind. That's for like pretty much all armors, I think, all have this little bit of flavor text to them, or not flavor text, but alternate Evo cost text. So armor release, when the level 4 would be deleted, you can just essentially, it's like de-digivolve the armor away into the trash and then leave the rookie remaining behind. So it's really cool. You can do some really cool plays by like crashing your armors, and then the armor pops off and leaves your rookie behind. You can then Evo just another armor right on top of them. Some of the armors have abilities that let them unsuspend, or there's effects out there, cards that will unsuspend them as well. So you can repeatedly just keep doing this with the same rookie over and over and over. Just keep attacking with the armor. Really, really cool plays there. But when Digivolving, trash the bottom Digivolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn. So very blue, very yellow effects there. Trash a source and a minus DP reduction on it. So a little bit of double whammy there. And you can also keep this in mind. You can like change the targets. So you can possibly trash the source of like a really big mega out there, and then also like minus DP on a rookie that has no, that, you know, they might have hard played that rookie, and then delete the rookie. So really, I like how these effects, you don't have to keep picking the same one. For this one, for the Sylphimon, you know, you can change it up there. We also have this Angemon here. Your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, recovery +1. 3 Evo on a level 4 is never really a big favorite of mine, but for recovery, you know, sometimes you're willing to do it for recovery. Being at the 3 or less is kind of a bit of a bummer. We'll talk about a card towards the end here. Or he might actually just be coming up. But it's at when you're at 5 security or less, you get the recovery one. I really like those because this card early on, like the first couple turns of the game, is completely dead. If you Evo it for 3 Evo, it just feels bad, right? So I don't know, maybe in a low, like a 2 count of the deck, this might be worth it for a little bit extra recovery. It's just kind of awkward. Angemon also had level 5. Angemon has the same kind of issue of she's okay, but most decks have kind of steered away from her now at this point. Angemon here is also kind of suffering from that same issue. But the inheritable here, when attacking, if you have 3 or more security cards, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hands. So a little bit of a removal in that blue manner of returning it to hand. Definitely just an interesting card. It's an okay card. It has its uses. I just think its uses are kind of limited, so you don't want to go too overboard on that one there. All right, and our first up yellow card we got here is Armadillomon. On play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 2-colored card with yellow from among them to your hand. Return the remaining cards to the bottom of the deck and in any order. I'm so stuck on in any order, even though it doesn't say that anymore. But yeah, so on play, you get to add one of your two colors as long as it has yellow in it. All your duo colors, things like that. So a lot to choose from, really. Yellow, I think yellow might be the most represented of all the duo colors. I think yellow is in more of them than anything else. Red is in a lot, but I think yellow is in the most. So, yeah, I mean, a fantastic card, great dig card. I've seen some decks where it's like the double golden armors. We're about to go over them, but it's like you run both of these in the deck, and, you know, you run stuff like Armadillomon to search them out, things like that. Very, very cool for sure. Lots of colors getting these searchers. I'm a really big fan of. We got the Vmon and I believe the Hawkmon also. Great searchers for these new armors as well as like all the duo color stuff. Now we got a new vanilla here, 0 Evo, 3 play, 4,000 DP. I've talked about it in one of the other ones, but I think they just have to release some vanillas every so often, just as filler. But also, like, down the road, I feel like eventually there's going to be strategies that are going to involve these keywords here. So you're going to need a big selection of Digimon just in general. It doesn't have to be vanillas, but just in general that are going to be very like keyword dependent. And I think eventually we'll get there. Just we're not there yet. So they're just going to keep making and producing these, and eventually all these keywords are going to matter, and it's actually going to matter that we have all these vanillas to choose from too. Next we got Candlemon. This is pretty good. 0 Evo on yellow or purple babies, so you can run it in either. So if you playing like a duo color, like a Mastamon deck, you can get some value out of this being a yellow and still run it in like a purple themed deck. But has the inheritable of your turn once per turn. When you play another purple Digimon, gain 1 memory. So like I'm talking about in these duo color decks with purple and yellow working together, especially in Mastamon. So it's kind of in Mastamon. Usually you want to hard play the yellows to pass turn, but with Candlemon here, you could do some other shenanigans like with the duo colors, such as like Gatomon. You can hard play a duo color Gatomon that has an on-play effect to pass turn, and then you'll trigger your Candlemon. So it kind of makes that, I believe it's normally a 5-play cost. You'll make it a 4-play cost with this Candlemon. So some really good synergies for sure in a lot of these duo color decks, I think. Next we got Ankylomon. So this is there's a lot of these in this set, but while you have a blue Digimon in play, when playing this card from your hand, reduce its play cost by 1. Because we're doing all these level 5 Jogresses, they've came out with several of these level 4s that are designed to be hard played for a 3 play cost, but they're only that 3 play cost in conjunction when you're using them in the proper deck where you're doing all these duo color things. So pretty cool card. It definitely has its uses. I think it'll get even more use later down the road when we see like X Antibody or the X Antibody version of Magnamon. That it's really popular in that deck. But when attacking, while you have a blue Digimon in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn. So again, that's like more rookie removal. What we talked about earlier with the minus 3,000 DP or deleting 3,000 DP or less Digimon. So some just nice removal. Lots of removal of rookies in this set, I've noticed. Like DP minusing, that sort of thing. Also, like you can stack these. Also, this isn't once per turn. A little bit not quite so needed in this one, but down the road, like attacking multiple times, unsuspend, attack again, unsuspend, attack again. This Ankylomon being able to stack its effect, could be really, really viable, and just multiple different ways to go about it. So I think that the DP minusing definitely making a comeback for like the stacking of effects to do it. Next we got Dinohumon here. He feels kind of awkward to me. I know a lot of people are really excited for him and got some neat combos that they're ready to do, but I don't know. I'm not convinced. 2 Evo on yellow or red and has the inheritable of when attacking one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1,000 DP for the turn. Some stuff I was thinking of, you could combine this in red where any red Digimon gets to attack multiple times. War Greymon yellow that gets to attack multiple times can make benefit of this, again, stacking up these effects. But 1,000 DP for the turn isn't overly like powerful, I don't think. I don't know. I could be proved wrong on that. I know some people are excited. I don't see it. Next, we got Magnamon here. So another of the Vmon armors. Digivolve from Vmon for 3 Evo cost. So normally these level 4s are 2 Evo cost on top of their respective Digimon. This one's a 4 and 4 though. So pretty steep Evo cost for a level 4. But its effects are blocker, okay, armor release, all right, it's an armor, makes sense, and then when digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon, so that alone is very powerful, in conjunction, depending on what you're going for. You can do some really good plays, depending on how much memory you have, you can get a whole bunch of swings out in one turn. But also, in addition to that, for each card with armor in its stage in your trash, this Digimon gets 2,000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. So, it goes 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. It can get really beefy really quickly, surprisingly. Like, mid-game, this guy is an easy plus 8k, I think. Like, you just have 4 Digimon, 4 armors in trash. That's not unheard of. 4 level 4s in trash. And then swing in with that massive 15,000 DP body. Which you can even crash into other 15Ks, and then he just armor releases and goes right back into Vmon, which you can then just Evo into another Magnamon. So cool. Like my childhood fan favorite Digimon, War Greymon and then Magnamon, like for a long time. Those two were it for me. Absolutely love these guys. So very excited to play this deck. Cannot wait to have this card in my hand, see that holo in hand, get the alt art in hand. Gonna be sweet. But also Rapidmon here is very, very strong in itself. So again, 4 Evo cost. So these golden armors, while extremely powerful, out of all the armors, the golden armor are the strongest, because they require the Egg of Miracles, I believe. And so they're more powerful. So to represent that, they've got these massive Evo costs for level 4s. Terriermon for 3 Evo cost. I honestly have yet to see Rapidmon actually Evo on top of a Terriermon, because no one ever plays this in green. This is only ever played in yellow, and there's no yellow Terriermons, at least not that I'm aware of. But it has armor release, again, because it's an armor. But when digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon for each of your Tamers in play. Then, up to 3 of your opponent's suspended Digimon get minus 5,000 DP for the turn. Goodness gracious. That's nuts. 3 of your opponents can get minus 5k. It's like, you can just do big old board wipes, like minus 5,000 DP on 3 targets. I mean, most of the time, most players don't go wider than 3. If they do, that's because they started their turn at 3 and then they promoted up. They might have evoed something else and got more on after that. But typically, I don't think anyone passes turn with more than 3 on field. So this feels really, really powerful. And then for each Tamer you have in play, so this combo is great with yellow hybrid. It can even work into some other strategies as well, but it's really, really popular in yellow-based decks, because yellow runs a tremendous amount of Tamers. No matter what kind of yellow deck you're playing, they usually run a lot more Tamers than any other deck. I think this is going to be like one of the greatest learning curves of the set, is going to be Rapidmon, not playing into Rapidmons and just letting them eat your board. Next we got Betsumon. This is an interesting one. So yellow, 3 Evo cost, 7,000 DP, nothing to write home about there, but when Digivolving, you may trash 1 card in your hand. If you do, this Digimon is also treated as the color of the trash card for the turn. Then, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, trigger draw 2. So basically, it's an instant draw 2. So it's almost like a mini Lady Devimon for yellow. Duo color yellow, because you do have to trash the card in hand, and it has to be a different color. You can't just trash a yellow. It has to be a different color, and then you get that the draw 2, and also you draw for Evo, so it's like a draw 3, just like Lady Devi is. You have to trash the card beforehand, and the color has to be different though. So it's similar, but it is still different. This is a fantastic card. It's really, really interesting. You can do some really neat things, I think, with this. The most common one I've seen so far is like Mastamon. Run this in a Mastamon deck, pitch a purple card, and basically this is instantly Lady Devimon for your deck, and then can also be whatever color you need to be. Where Lady Devimon's locked to purple, this is going to be yellow and purple for you. So Betsumon, don't sleep on Betsumon. I think there's some really interesting, unique deck building opportunities when it comes to Betsumon. I don't know them all yet. I think there's going to be a lot, and some of the better players I think are going to come up with some really cool stuff for Betsumon. Next up, we've got just a vanilla here. It is a duo color, yellow-purple. Duo colors are still kind of limited. They're still kind of rare in the game. There's not a whole lot yet. But 3 Evo cost, vanilla, level 5, but can go on yellow or purple. 9,000 DP is pretty solid, but I don't know. It's okay. I think it's mostly just if you need the duo color for like a Mastamon deck. That's kind of where you're going to get the most value out of this guy. Next up, we got Shakkoumon. Every time a Shakkoumon comes into this game, I feel like they're just like almost meta-defining. The original one, being able to just completely turn off Rookie Rush, always felt good. If this card had been around, or if side decks had been around way back then in like 1.5, I think that Shakkoumon would have been used a whole lot more. But I digress. We're going to move on to this one. So it does DNA Digivolve for 0 cost with 2 level 4s, yellow and a blue. I think most people just run this without the intent to Joggerus. If you're running a yellow deck or a blue deck, either or, he fits in pretty nicely. You don't have to worry about Joggerusing. But it is nice when you get it. But mainly, when Digivolving, if you have 5 or fewer security cards, recovery 1. This is what I was talking about earlier. I really like this. Early game, I can just Evo into this and it doesn't feel bad. I can turn 2, go into this level 5. Yeah, it's a 4 Evo cost, but I'm still going to get my recovery. I really like that. So that's great. I'm glad they changed it up for that to be 5 or more. But also, then, when DNA Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon whose level is less than or equal to the number of cards in your security stack to its owner's hands. That's powerful. If you're at 6 security after you Evo into this, you get that recovery, puts you up to 6. That's amazing, because now you're going to be able to bounce a level 6 Digimon. Less is less than or equal to. So yeah, you get up to 6, anything pretty much, except for level 7s. But yeah, so I think that's a very powerful card. It's going to be difficult to DNA Digivolve this guy, I think, because his overall usefulness is kind of tricky to pull off. some strategy I've seen is like in armors, because Magnamon is in there, so that's going to be your yellow requirement, and then you've got all your other armors are all blue anyway, so you just need the Magnum on field with another of the blue armors, and you can go into him. If you're I mean, that's going to be like the main one, I think. You can't really do it with Imperial. I've seen people put it in Imperial and just Evo on top of it, but I think Imperial's got enough going on. I think it's just a nice addition to armors for sure. And then if you're working on any sort of like these blue-yellow or blue-yellow duo color decks, maybe there's something there too. But mostly I've just seen it like teched in as like a 2-of into armors. We got a new Cherubimon. This is the yellow Cherubimon again. Can Evo on top of purple or yellow for Evo cost. Pretty steep, but not unheard of for level 6s, especially Cherubimon. When you would play this card from your hand, you may delete one of your purple Cherubimon to reduce this play cost by 8. So it makes it a 3 play cost if you play it with the purple one. So maybe like the purple Cherubimon deck, this could be like a alternative mega for you, especially because if you like popping Cherubi, I mean, we saw Cherubi, playing those rush decks and popping the Cherubi to play out like Bushi Agumons, things like that. This is another good way to target your Cherubi to pop it. But also, on play or when Digivolving, activate the following effect for each of your Tamers in play. One of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -2. So yeah, even if you can't kill them that turn with all your rush combos, you can still just prevent your opponent from taking you out. I think this is a neat, like, one of maybe, 1 or 2, probably just a one of in those purple Cherubimon decks. Definitely a very interesting card for sure. I don't know if you'll see too much play, but it is neat. Next, we got Azulongmon, new duo color Azulong. Very different from all of its other 4 sovereigns. Okay, all the 4 sovereigns we've seen in the past, gaining 1 memory for whatever effect they're doing. This doesn't do anything like that. Well, sort of. It does gain memory, but differently. So 3 Evo cost, yellow or purple, 11,000 DP, lower than normal 4 sovereigns. When attacking, you may trash the top card of your security stack to gain 2 memory. Okay, so attack with this, gain 2 memory. Well, what are you going to do with all that memory then? Your turn, because you've already attacked, so he's suspended now. Your turn, once per turn. When Digivolving one of your other Digimon, you may unsuspend that Digimon. So that's some neat stuff you can do, like with armors, is, promote this guy up, swing, trash security. Swing with an armor. The armor releases, and then you can Evo into another armor. His effect will activate and unsuspend that armor. Then you can attack with that armor again. Pretty cool stuff. I like it. I dig it. I don't know if it'll see too much play, but I think it's really cool. Also, this artwork, I cannot wait to see it in holographic. It is a rare, so thank God it's a rare, because I really want to see what he looks like for sure. So that's it for the main of the yellows here, but we do have a couple extra of these duos. We got another armored Armodillamon armor here in the form of Digimon, so 3 Evo cost on top of greens or 2 Evo cost on top of Armadillamon, but armor release, so we got another armor release, and then when attacking, one of your opponent's suspended Digimon gets -3,000 DP for the turn. So combining the green and the yellow effect right there in one single move. That's nice because it targets suspended Digimon, so if you choose to attack into that Digimon, you can minus the DP and then swing over it. It would be nice if they gave him piercing. Like, literally, this dude is, like, made of drills. How does he not have piercing? But still, though, pretty neat card. I've seen some, again, those interesting golden armor decks. So you got both golden armors as well as an Armodillamon, and you run multiple Armodillamons. It's a really neat deck. We got a new Black Gatomon with Rush. So this is a really good target for Mastemon. Mastemon can put this from trash into security and then play it for free out of security, and it has Rush. So getting some real Lilith Loop vibes here, like Eismon promote, Genkakumon promote, like Zwart playing, going into Zwart for super cheap. that's the vibe I'm getting off of this. I really think that was kind of like their intent. And then the inheritable of retaliation. Just if you do need to evo all the way up past this, if your opponent wants to delete it, they have to deal with that retaliation. It doesn't matter what turn it is; it's always active. So that's pretty neat. I think it's a great addition to the Mastamon deck. You've got the regular Gatomon and the black Gatomon, like absolutely perfect for sure. Because then you got the Angelomons and the Lady Devies. Yeah, it's a great card. Great timing on coming out with this, really. Now we got Offanimon Fall Down Mode. Now one of the new meta warping cards. The Digivolve from Offanimon for 2 costs, never gonna matter. It just no one's gonna run the other Offanimon. It's just no one does. They're pretty bad, sadly. Just not really worth it. But when Digivolving, if this Digimon has a purple Digivolution card, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Cool. Nice recovery there. If this Digimon has yellow Digivolution cards, trigger recovery 1. No stipulation on being 3 or less or 5 or less. No, it just happens. So like Seraphimon from BT1, you get that recovery no matter what. No stipulation needed. Which on a Mega, I feel like that should be the case. You spent all that time evoing all the way up. You don't need a restriction like that holding you back. So in duo color decks, like this is great. I've seen like the Mastamon deck also running this Offanimon, so you can have both megas for whatever the situation calls for. And then yeah, you evo into this, and on top of like one of your Gatomons that's dual color, and you get both effects instantly. Very powerful. And then in addition to that, it keeps going. Like a miracle. It somehow keeps going here. But on deletion, play 1 purple or yellow level 4 or lower Digimon from your trash without paying its member cost. You get your on-play effects, so that the yellow Gatomon I was talking about, that on-play, you get to then search for more angel cards. Very good combo-centric stuff here. Really digging just the themes of this whole set are really good. This card just in yellow hybrid though, like that's like the main abuse for it, is throwing it into yellow hybrid and then just like doing so much. You get the Jet Sylphie recovery, then you get the Offanimon recovery. If you hard draw the defeat because you didn't get it stuck in security, you can then just evo the defeat right on top of Offanimon, because Offanimon is also a purple, so defeat is no longer a brick in the hand. Yeah, just oh god, this card is going to abuse the format, I guarantee it. For our yellow Tamers, we've got some good ones too. Really liking, I would say probably both Tamers. Yeah, like the duo Tamer for Davis and Ken is really good, but I really like both of yellows here. So start of your main phase, if you have a yellow Digimon in play, gain 1. So this is after draw. This is after the unsuspend phase. This is after the raising phase. That's the most key point, is you can promote up out of raising area with your yellow, and then start of your main phase, then Cody goes off. So if you had an empty field and you promoted from raising, you can get that extra memory off of Cody. That's cool. His other effect, though, your turn, when your Digimon of 2 or more colors attacks, you may suspend this Tamer to give one of your opponent's Digimon minus 2,000 DP for the turn. It's okay. It's not bad. You really have to use Cody in the right deck, I would say, though. I've seen him used in, like, yellow hybrids. I'm not an overly big fan of him in yellow hybrids, just because you'll never get, like, this extra effect, really. I guess with Rapidmon, if you're running the Rapidmon, you get a little bit of extra value there, because Rapidmon's going to potentially delete something, or at least lower it by 5,000. Then you attack with the Rapidmon, trigger Cody to do another 2k on something. You could get some pretty good combos there. So I'll take it back. He's okay in yellow hybrid if you're running the Rapidmon package as well. So really cool stuff there. 3 play costs. We got a new memory fixer finally for yellow in the form of Kari. Of course it's Kari. TK and Kari memory fixers. Go figure. 4 play cost is standard for a memory fixer. And then your turn, when a card is added to your security stack, you can suspend this Tamer to gain 1 memory. I love this. For security control, yellow hybrid decks, this is great. This is really great. That Offanimon, that's a 4 evo cost. You can go Offanimon with a memory fixer on field like Kari, and normally you would pass turn, but then you would recovery 1 with the Offani, suspend the Kari, gain that 1 memory back, keep it on your turn with the Offanimon. Then you can like follow up with a defeat on top of Offanimon to pass turn, you know, or just swing with Offanimon, whatever the case may be. Kari is a fantastic new addition for yellow. Like, not even just like security controller or yellow hybrid, but like yellow loves to recover. So getting a card that synergizes with recovery is really cool. Like, we know the purple Kari is really good for purple because when you trash security, you can suspend hurt and gain 1 memory. It's nice that this grown-up version of Kari is like the opposite. When you recover, you gain 1. That's really cool. I dig it for sure. And then moving down in here to our option cards, we got Disaster Blaster, 3 play cost, main. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for the turn. If you have a Digimon with 2 or more colors, or a Digimon card that has 2 or more colors in the Digivolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP instead. It's not that great. 3 play cost to minus 3k or even 6k. Like, honestly, if they just wiped away all the text and it was just one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP for the turn for 3 play cost, I still probably might not play it. Like, that's how much of a disappointment it is. I think there's way better removal cards out there than that. We got Plasma Shot here, which is really cool. 4 play cost. If you have a Digimon with armor in its trait, you can use this option card without meeting its color requirements. So if you have, you know, like one of your other Vmon armors like Flamedramon or Ragermon, you can still play this. Main, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. And for each card with armor in its trait in your trash, all of your opponent's Digimon get minus 4,000 DP for the turn. So literally, if you just have 2 armors in trash, you're instantly minus 6,000 DP. And like, it applies it to the whole field. So late game, when you've got 6 or 7 cards in trash, this is a huge nuke. Like, for sure, you can just like kill big things with this, and like potentially board wipe your whole opponent's board with this. I think that's a really cool removal card for armors in general. Being able to like incorporate that into like blue is really cool. Also, we got Flame Scythe here, Flame Hell Scythe. 6 play cost. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 DP for the turn. Then you may play one purple Digimon with purple or yellow Digimon with 6,000 DP or less from your trash without paying its memory cost. Again, playing that Gatomon for free. I keep using it as an example, but that Gatomon has just got a really nice on-play effect of being able to dig for more cards. Like the value, you play 1 Flame Hell Scythe, you delete a Digimon on field, you get a body on field, and you get to search cards from your deck. Like, all off of 1 card. That's a lot of value. That is a lot of value for sure. So digging Flame Hell Scythe for sure in those, maybe not in the Offanimon deck, but definitely in the Mastemon deck that's using those Gatomons really effectively. And that's going to be the last yellow card that we've got for this. So if you want to see the other colors, make sure you check out those other videos where we go super in depth on all the effects.